You say, for example, there are 7 different types of ADHD, correct?
Right. When I first started imaging in 1991, I was sort of looking for the one pattern that would describe it. But very quickly, I'm like, oh, it's not one thing. It's 7 different things. And of the 7, Ritalin and Adderall help 2 of the types, can be miraculous, but they make 5 of the other types worse, which is why it's a controversial drug.
Everybody hear what Dr. Amen just said. 7 different subtypes of ADD, but 1 medication. 2 of them it helps, 5 of them it exacerbates, it makes worse. Take us through these real quickly.
So the first one is classic: short attention span, distractibility, restlessness, impulse control. It's one everybody recognizes. The second one is often underdiagnosed. It's inattentive ADD. They tend to be spacey, unmotivated. They have sleepy brains. The third one is overfocused ADD. The problem is not that they can't pay attention, it's they can't shift their attention. Often oppositional, argumentative, things don't go your way, you get upset. And then temporal lobe ADD, one or both of their temporal lobes are problematic. Can give them reading problems, but also temper problems. And then limbic ADD, where their emotional brain works too hard, and it's like an underlying depression that's causing this. The ring of fire, which I think is so interesting, the problem's not low activity in the brain, it's high activity. And they often get diagnosed early. Stimulants often make them terrible. And it maybe there's inflammation in their brain, or it could be early bipolar disorder. And then there's anxious ADD, where their anxiety centers is driving the hyperactivity. So the first 2 types, classic and inattentive, stimulants can be very helpful. The other types, they tend to make them worse.
Mm-hmm. And Cassie, what happened when the doctor used the bad word, no?
Yeah, that was fun. He didn't just tell them no. He was trying to get a reaction out of them. He was trying to see exactly what he was working with, and he eventually started hiding under the table. He started throwing things in his office, throwing himself backwards, hurting himself, screaming at the doctor. And then he started coming over and attacking me, and I had nothing to do with it. It was a whole ordeal. Couldn't get him to calm down, and literally this is going to sound horrible because it's going to sound like my type of parenting, which I did not want to do on this show, was sometimes you just have to give in. And it really, really sucks because if not, he's just a raging ball of fury all day.
But you're just out of options.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not that you don't know that giving in to tantrum behavior is a bad thing.
Terrible.
It's just there's a point at which it's like, we've got to get through this moment here.
I have 3 other kids to take care of at home. And, they are pretty great kids. They're very smart. They're very intelligent. But they also know when mom and dad say no, it means no.
You're both well-intentioned. You're doing the best you know how to do. You're saying, hey, love to do better, just tell me how. That's what you're saying. So you're saying, I hate to say I gave in. You did what you could do to get through the moment at the time. You know it's not the best thing. Also joining us virtually is Cassie's boyfriend and father of the twins, Carl. Carl, how did the twins behave with you?
I mean, it all depends on what circumstance you're talking about. If, for instance, like if I go to take their cup from them because they're thirsty, and they want me to refill that cup again, they're going to freak out. They're going to scream. They're going to go crazy. They don't hit me. They don't throw stuff at me. I'm the only person they don't do it to.
That's actually a good sign, though, that there is some signal, there is one situation where they can modulate their behavior, which tells you that it's in their behavioral repertoire.
Right.
They do have the ability to take their foot off the accelerator and back off a little bit. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.